Hey there, gang. Time for another comic book unboxing video. You know how these work by now. I have been given this short box of comic books to grade for sale on eBay, and I have no idea what could be inside. So we'll make that discovery together. If you like comic books, stick around. We're going to have some fun. Hey there, Bubby. Welcome to Shang Hollow. My name is Duke, and this is an unboxing video. And again, you know the deal. I have no idea what is in this box you're looking at, but we're going to break into it and make that discovery together as I get ready to grade these books for sale on eBay. And please like, share, subscribe, do all the groovy things. Nothing's changed. Still running the same contest. We're only about 10 subscribers away from giving away this World of Smallville PVC set. So if you want to be entered into a chance to win that, just be a subscriber and leave a comment down below. Like I said, only about 10 subscribers away from doing that drawing. So let's not waste any time. Let's break right into this box and see what we've got. I've got it in front of me here. Oh, you know, the other thing I'll mention is this is a flip-top box. I've never seen one of these before. As long as I have been collecting comics, I've never seen a flip-top box like this. I'm aware they exist. I don't know why somebody would want one necessarily. I mean, it is an actual comic book box. It's the exact right size. It's got the the little handle holes on the side like a regular comic book box, but for some reason it's a flip-top. So I would have no need of a flip top. I can't imagine why somebody would. It's kind of like those, if you've seen them, those shelf drawer boxes, you know, that they've got the insert and you can pull it out while there's a shell that kind of remains. I got one of those once and I was like, oh, that's dumb. Why do I want to pay the extra money for that? Now I know some people swear by them because, apparently you can stack them up, but I don't know. Anyway, let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. And we'll start with right here on top. Look at that. That's pretty neat. Wow. Dark Mansions of Forbidden Love. Number 4. Not number 1, but still. Can you imagine the conversation at DC today? Hey, let's put out a book in a new genre. A new genre? You mean something besides superheroes? Yeah, matter of fact, something besides Batman. What? A DC comic that's not Batman? What do you have in mind? I know. How about gothic romance? I feel like the kids would go for that today. So, I kind of want to crack this open and read it before I grade it, just to see what this is like. And it's funny. Look, I mean, this is a rarity on a DC cover. The wording here is actually typeset rather than being hand lettered. So they're really going all in for the I guess what would have been the gold key crowd at that time. But that's weird and different. I mean, it's I'm aware it exists, but it's still just bizarre. I bet you that does well on eBay because this is in pretty nice shape. I mean, I've got to get it out of the bag and actually grade it, but I bet that's at least a 7. And I'm sure such copies of this as exist are not all that common in high grade. That would have been bought by casual readers, by one would presume female readers. As I recall, this book only lasted maybe 5 or 6 issues, and then the title changed to Forbidden Tales of Dark Mansion, so it became more of a horror book than this gothic romance thing, A Kiss from the Grave. I love comic books. All right, Devil Dinosaur. We've seen this one a lot in recent boxes, but there it is again. Demon number 1. That's another a perennial, a favorite. Giant size Conan the Barbarian number 4. Here's a giant size Conan 3. And Conan giant size 1. And there's 2. So we've got, I think, the whole set. I think that was 4 issues of those. Steel. We've unboxed this in recent videos, and I've talked about it. But this and Firestorm were 2 new series launches in 1977-78 that I just loved as a kid. And both only lasted about 5 issues, and I was heartbroken when those were canceled. Well, technically I think they were canceled before the DC implosion proper. But in my mind, I always conflate the cancellation of these books with the implosion. But yeah, this was and this is cheap. This first issue might go for $10, but the rest of the series goes fairly cheaply. And I advise you to do yourself a favor, seek these out and read them. The art is by Don Heck, which he's getting towards the end of his career here. So he's not in high form, but it's solid storytelling, visually and script wise. Well, here we go. There's Gwen Stacy on the cover of a Phantom Stranger book, number 11. So that's cool. Another Phantom Stranger. Actually, this is a Showcase Presents Phantom Stranger number 80. So I think this was a test case to see if they could launch a new Phantom Stranger series. And apparently that was a successful test. The Phantom Stranger initially had like a 5-issue run in the 50s, I think. And then came back and even got to join the Justice League. So here's some X-Men 119. Giant size X-Men number 2. Not nearly as valuable as number 1. X-Men featuring the Beast and Iceman. And this was something they did along this time. And I don't know if it's because the sales were down, because it wouldn't be too long after this that the series would be canceled and go into perennial reprints. 66 was the last original issue until 94. But for a while here, before that cancellation, they were featuring on the cover different members of the X-Men. And I don't know if they were maybe testing to see if they could boost sales, or if one character had maybe more popularity than another. I don't know what the deal was, but that was something that you saw, with the X-Men that you didn't see on, say, Avengers or another title. X-Men 36. Power of Warlock, number 1. Neato. Here's an old Marvel Atlas book, Journey into Unknown Worlds, number 50. Here comes the Cyclops. Well, maybe Overstreet lists this as a precursor. This is a precursor to the X-Men, maybe. I don't know. They went a little crazy with identifying precursors there at one time. Something from the Walt Simonson run of Thor, 344. Here's another 344. Here's a change of pace. Spaceman. And this is in pretty nice shape. That'll do really well. So that's a Dell comic. The robot monster controls outer space. It's actually a pretty compelling cover. Neat. All right. Let's do the next stack. Here we go. Oh, and there you go, Batman. There's a, although you're probably not too excited to see this one, are you? So there you go, Batman 429. Jason Todd is dead. Don't worry, he'd get better. Journey into Mystery 104. Giants Walk the Earth. Number 105. Cobra and Mr. Hyde. 106. Looks like we're going to get a little run of Journey into Mystery here. 107, The Gray Gargoyle. Also featuring Tales of Asgard, a highly regarded backup series. Back when a backup series mattered. Loki. 114, The Absorbing Man. Is that This is kind of beat up, but is this Absorbing Man's first appearance? I'm not sure. With Hulk, this has always struck me as a weird cover because it's just a weird pose for Loki. It's like, where's the rest of his body? You know, it sort of looks like he's coming through the cover a little bit. Anyway, 116, Trial of the Gods. 119, this book belonged to Tony, probably not Tony Stark. But Tony wanted you to know that that was his book. 120. And this, I think, is The Origin of the Hammer. Now, especially if we get many more Thors in this box, I should mention that I was not a big Thor reader as a kid. I mostly got my Thor in Avengers. And, of course, these books would be before my time anyway, but I haven't really gone back and read a lot of those early Thors. I need to get my hands on an Essentials reprint or something. But even the Tales of Asgard backup that we just mentioned, that was a classic. I mean, I'm aware of it, but I've never actually read it. So if I'm going to be a good comic book fan, that's something I should do. Yes, I believe that's Absorbing Man again, looking very, very sunburned on that cover. 122. You know, it's funny. The other, you had Strange Tales, Tales to Astonish, Tales of Suspense, were all, dual books, because at this time Marvel was limited to how many books it could publish per month, or not how many it could publish, but how many its distributor would agree to carry. That distributor being Independent News, which not coincidentally was owned by DC Comics, or owned by Harry Donenfeld, who owned DC Comics, and so when Martin Goodman had a little problem with his distributor and had to go to Hat in Hand to Independent News, well, Donenfeld put down, or I don't know if it was Donenfeld or probably his business manager, Jack Leibowitz, put down the hammer and said, well, we're only going to distribute 8 books a month. And so that's why those anthology titles are sort of split books. But anyway, what I was getting at is that Thor, Journey into Mystery, never had really, other than the Tales of Asgard, never had a co-feature. He had the book all to himself. I don't know if that indicates that at this time period, Thor was maybe more popular than any of the other characters in the other books. I mean, I would think so. I would think they would have given him some kind of a backup. Although, then again, if Ditko hadn't sort of solicited of his own accord Doctor Strange, then probably there would not have been that backup in Strange Tales. So there's Hercules. And 125, this is the last issue here of Journey into Mystery. Let's see if we get the next one is... Nope. Take my word for it. With 126, it just becomes Thor. The title changes, and Thor gets the actual indicia credit as well. So here's Batman 400. Introduction by Stephen King. All kinds of artists in here. Lonely Place of Dying, 442. There's, I think this is the first Tim Drake in the Robin costume. Or is that still Jason Todd? I can't say that I remember at this point. I feel like Jason should be dead. Well, he should be dead even today, but by that point I think he was dead. Spider-Man 2099, number 1. Submariner, number 59, with Thor. Daredevil 30 with Thor. Boy, this box really is a Thor theme, isn't it? There's Avengers with Thor front and center, so even the non-Thor books are all about Thor. Well, and we're back to Thor. Again with Hercules. Fire Lord, number 225. Oh, and now we're going to go nearly back to the beginning, 103. So this is before Thor even gets the, the full weight of the logo action. What does this say here? $1. I wonder if this book got put in a bag that had a dollar price tag on it, or if somebody was selling this for $1. This isn't in great shape. You can see a 2-inch bottom spine split here. So that's probably, the least of what's wrong with this book. We'll find out more once I break into it, but that's going to go for a lot more than $1. As will this one, Thor versus Hulk. Journey to Mystery 112. Spider-Man versus Wolverine. Now, this is a book that in past unboxings, I have kind of derided this book. Said, I don't know why this is being sold as a single. This is a nothing burger. But I went back and checked our sales. This thing goes for $15 or $20. And I mean, this is at auction, so people are competing for it, trying to win the damn thing. So, yeah. I'm going to have to read that one of these days. This, I believe, is the second appearance of Groot here, although not nearly the form and function of Groot that we know today. Silver Surfer number 2, When Lands the Saucer. This looks so. This always makes me think of Arthune. What are the guys' names from John Carter, The Martians? Journey to Mystery 109 with Magneto. The very, very dark color palette here. 127. So I guess we don't have a 126, but as I noted, Thor takes over. Journey into Mystery is no more. Some more Hercules action. Fighting the power of Pluto. 129. And again, I don't know my Thor as well as I probably should. So as I go through these, I'm almost certain that some keys are escaping me. So if you see one, well, this one I think I know. This is the first appearance of Ego the Living Planet. But if you see something else here that's a key and I buzz right by it, don't hesitate to leave a comment down below as to why that book is a key issue. First appearance of this or that or the other thing. Super Scroll. This one was reprinted recently as a facsimile edition. Or was it a True Believer? I think it was one of the $1 True Believer reprints, actually. For Asgard, this battleground Earth. If the thunder be gone. It's got a big old subscription crease in it, which is probably just somebody folded it. Otherwise, I would expect I'm assuming that all of these books came from the same collection. And you would expect if this was an actual subscription copy that the other issues probably would be folded that way too. So this is probably just a book that got folded. Maybe, maybe not. Tommy. Well, we saw a Tony earlier. This one is Tommy. And Tommy, he's going the extra mile. He's going one above Tony. Tony just wrote his name on the book. Tommy is making absolutely sure, with the apostrophe S, the possessive form, that this is Tommy's book. If you pick this up and you read it, you are reading Tommy's book. So maybe you want to think twice about that. Here we've got an arrival date stamped on it. November 9th. Received. The Wrecker. And this cracks me up. The God of Thunder versus a guy swinging a crowbar. Even in death. Hela. 151. 152. 150. Whatever happened to Donald Blake in the comics? Do you know? I really don't. By the time I did start reading some Thor books, of course, they didn't bother with, Dr. Donald Blake when Thor appeared in the Avengers, very rarely. And by the time I did start reading some Thor books, which probably wasn't until around issue 260, 270, somewhere in there, they had largely dispensed with the whole Donald Blake persona. So I confess to you, I don't actually know whatever happened to him. I don't think they've used Blake for years and years and years, have they? If you know better, tell me. And now, the universe. 155. 156. Boy, this box is all Thor. Ragnarok. You might have expected that one to take off with the Ragnarok movie, but I don't think it did. All right. Well, you know what, Batman, I'm sorry. I would have expected maybe more DCs. This is kind of not your bailiwick, is it? 159. 160. Galactus. And now Galactus. That seems to be a common trope on Thor comics. And now this guy. And now that guy. Shall a god prevail? Probably not. Galactus aborning. Oh, Stan. Stan, you're so dramatic. A god berserker. 166. So this is the second full appearance of him who would become Adam Warlock. And he, of course, he first appeared over in Fantastic Four. 66 is the beginning of his origin story, and then 67, but he's just kind of cameos when he pops out of his cocoon at the end. And then his first full appearance is actually Thor 165. So this is one I do know. Again, a lot of Thor key issues I'm not really hip to, but that one I know. So that's the second appearance of what would become Adam Warlock. Again, Loki. Are you excited for the Loki and Galactus again? Are you excited for the upcoming Loki Disney Plus series? I don't actually have Disney Plus. I canceled it after the first season of The Mandalorian. And I figure I'm going to wait until, 2 or 3 or 4 of the Disney Plus Marvel shows are out, and then I'll get Disney Plus for a month, binge everything, and then cancel it again. Because I'm just that cheap. 173. Some of these books are kind of stuck together. It's not so much the bag. Sometimes you get where the bags stick together. But this is the actual tape. It's got this, somebody used this two-sided tape here, which is never a smart idea. So they're sticking to each other. Trapped in Doomsland. Doomsland. 184. 185. Oh, I guess I didn't notice when we crossed over to 15 cents. Sometimes when I list the book, of course I mostly grade the books, but sometimes when I list the books myself, I will make note of, is this the first 12-cent issue, the first 15-cent issue, the first, whatever the cover price is. There are some people who actually like to get those. And this is the last little stack, but this is the last one from this box. 186. 187. 189. There's Hela again. More Hela. 190. 191. Loki's looking a little different on this one. And last, still 15 cents, so that's the signal we're about to go up. But anyway, that's it. That's the last one in that box. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. If you're a Thor fan, I guess you did. But we'll be back soon with another box of mystery comics. Until then, goodbye, good luck, and please be good to each other. I'm Batman.